Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today is Earth Day, so it makes it a great time to talk about how each of us can do our part to make changes in our lives that will reduce our own carbon footprint and our impact on climate change. Now, one of the best ways that we can do this is through changing our methods of transportation, and specifically moving away from single-person car trips. Now, one of the ways that I've been able to do this in my life is to switch to what are known as personal electric vehicles, or micro-mobility devices. These are things like electric bicycles, electric scooters, electric skateboards, basically any single-occupant electric vehicle. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons you should replace your car trips with e-bike or other micro-mobility device trips. Now, the first reason is that you can save a ton of energy. Even if you're driving an electric car, most electric cars average somewhere around 250 watt-hours per mile, but an electric bicycle on throttle-only operation averages around 25 watt-hours per mile, so you're already getting about 10 times more efficiency than in an already efficient electric car. Now, if you consider an electric bike that uses pedal assist, so you're actually adding some of the pedaling power yourself, these bikes can average somewhere around 10 to 15 watt-hours per mile. So you're getting about 20 times better efficiency than an electric car. Now, obviously not everybody can replace a car trip with a bike, but for trips like going to the cafe or just picking up a small amount of groceries, these are trips that can easily be done on a bike. Other times you might still need a car. If you're picking up a bunch of bags of cement or you're hauling lumber, you might still need a car or a truck. So you're not always going to be able to replace these vehicles, but for so many single occupant trips, it is possible to switch to a smaller vehicle, and you can save a ton of energy this way. Now, the second reason to switch to an e-bike is that it's a way to get cycling without using so much effort. Now, a lot of people would like to switch to a bicycle, but it takes a lot of work to pedal around. Not everybody is prepared to completely switch to pedaling. I know that when I started getting into e-bikes, I was not a strong cyclist. But because electric bicycles make it very easy to get into cycling, many more people are getting into the sport because they don't have to apply as much effort as a normal pedal bike takes. When you hit a hill, you can easily bump up the pedal assist to a higher level, or when you're on flat ground, you can put pedal assist on a lower level and work on building your fitness. Over time, I know I've become a stronger cyclist by playing with the amount of pedal assist I use in my bikes and improving my own cycling ability. The other great advantage of electric bikes in this case is that it doesn't force you to arrive to work or to your destination all sweaty. It's another reason a lot of people would like to ride a bike to work, but they just can't because they can't afford to get to work all sweaty. They don't have a shower on site. They don't want to take that time. With an electric bike, you can still get a good amount of exercise, but you're not putting in that, huge amount of effort that's going to make you all sweaty on the way to work. The third reason to switch to a personal electric vehicle is that they save so much time. If you're commuting to work every day in a car or on a bus, you're probably stuck in a good amount of traffic. When I ride my electric scooters or my e-bikes or even my electric skateboards, it's so much easier to just whiz past traffic, whether I'm in the shoulder or in the bike lane or just taking shortcuts through parks, of course on trails that are bike or scooter friendly, but I'm often shaving somewhere around 25 to 50% of the time off of a normal trip. Sometimes when I'm traveling in the city with friends and we both leave a destination at the same time and they take a car or a bus, I always arrive at the destination sooner, and sometimes it's almost frustrating because you realize how much longer it's taking them just sitting on the road, sitting in traffic, waiting to move along when you're in this little personal vehicle that can just slip right by. So by switching to a personal electric vehicle like an e-bike or an e-scooter, you can shave a ton of time off of your commute and you can be a lot more efficient. Next, you can save a ton of money by using a personal electric vehicle. E-bikes and electric scooters, they cost almost nothing to operate. Electricity is so cheap and they use so little of it. For most e-bikes, depending on your local electricity rates, you can get somewhere around 350 to 750 miles for $1 of electricity, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. How far does $1 of gas take you? Not that far, but going hundreds and hundreds of miles on $1 of electricity, that's kind of crazy. The only major investments you have are the price of the vehicle, and there are tons of electric scooters and e-bikes under 500, 1,000 bucks. You can get into nicer ones in the thousands of dollars, but there are a lot of cheaper ones too. And then maybe things like occasional tire replacements, occasional brake replacements, but really the cost of daily use is just so incredibly low that it is almost zero. The fifth reason to switch to an e-bike specifically is that it will help you get healthier. Study after study have shown that electric bicycles are in fact a great form of exercise. And while you're not getting the same amount of exercise as a pedal bike, you're still getting a large amount as long as you're using pedal assist. And like we mentioned earlier, this is a great way for people to build up their cycling fitness who wouldn't otherwise be able to start on a pedal bike. The other thing is that many people find that they ride their electric bikes longer than they would on a pedal bike, which means in the end, they're actually getting more exercise by using an electric bike than a pedal bike because they're simply staying out longer and enjoying the ride more, so they're ultimately putting in more exercise over time. Now, the sixth reason that I like these micromobility devices compared to cars is that you have increased convenience and accessibility. When you get to work, you can easily fold up a lot of these micromobility devices, like folding e-bikes or electric scooters, and you can bring them with you into work. You don't have to worry about parking them and locking them outside. When I'm on my skateboard, I'll often bring it into restaurants and just stick it under the table. In terms of accessibility, you can go a lot more places. You can take shortcuts through parks, you can ride on nature trails, you can actually turn your commute into something that's interesting instead of just a boring roadway slog. And so by switching to these smaller vehicles, you really increase your convenience options and your accessibility to travel in places you wouldn't normally be able to. Now, the seventh reason I really like these micromobility devices is that if you're into solar power, you can actually run most of these entirely on solar power. Because the batteries are relatively small in e-bikes and e-scooters, and because they just don't use that much energy each day, even a small solar panel, like a 100-watt panel, which is smaller than this table here, can easily run a e-bike or an e-scooter all day. A 100-watt panel can probably generate somewhere around maybe 400 to 600 watts of, or watt hours, I should say, of energy per day. And you know what else has around 400 to 600 watt hours of energy? An average e-bike or electric scooter battery. In fact, scooters are often smaller than that, so you could probably get 2 charges in a day on an electric scooter. Plus, most people don't normally drain their battery all the way each day. So you can easily take just a simple $100 solar panel and completely run your e-bike or e-scooter on free energy from the sun, which is a really cool concept. Now, the payback period isn't going to be great, and this is not a way to save money, but if you're into the idea of traveling entirely on free energy from the sun, then it's a pretty neat concept that you can do that entirely with just a small solar panel. Now, the eighth reason you should consider switching to a personal electric vehicle is you can contribute to reducing traffic for everyone. It's not just you that gets to move along more quickly. Everybody has reduced traffic when there are fewer cars on the road. Study after study has shown that even a small number of drivers switching from a car to a bicycle has a much larger impact on the total amount of traffic because traffic doesn't build up on itself. So you can be doing a service not just for yourself, but your whole city and make everyone's commute better. The ninth reason to switch to a personal electric vehicle is you don't have to worry about formalities like a license or registration or insurance or generally parking most of the time. All of these things are hassles that drivers have to deal with. They have to go to the DMV, they have to deal with monthly car payments, they have to deal with insurance companies. But e-bikes are so lightly regulated that you rarely have to do that in almost any country. In the US, there's a great Threeclass system in most states where e-bikes under 28 miles per hour normally need no registration or basically any regulation as long as they conform to 750 watts and 28 miles per hour. Now, there are some trails that are limited to lower speed and lower power e-bikes, but still, you're not dealing with the same kind of license and regulatory issues that you have with larger vehicles. And if you're one of those tin hat kind of people, this keeps the government out of your personal affairs. So there's another added benefit there. Now, the 10th and final reason that you should switch from a car to a personal electric vehicle is that they are simply more fun. I love riding around on my e-bikes, I love riding around on my scooters and my skateboards. Even electric unicycle is fun for me. It brings a different kind of excitement and rush to my commute. Each one of these vehicles is unique and they each give a different feeling, but they all bring that smile to my face and they make traveling around actually fun. I'm no longer stuck in a car just waiting to get to my destination. I'm having a mini adventure everywhere I go, and I can always take side adventures. If I see an interesting trail on my way, I can peel off and ride my bike down some cool nature trail. It's just fun knowing that you're on a vehicle that allows you to go pretty much anywhere and do almost anything while having all of the benefits we've talked about already. So for me, it's a no-brainer. These types of vehicles reduce my environmental impact, they're more fun, they're cheaper, it's a more interesting way to get around, and it gives me more options. It's the whole package. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll consider looking at how you can replace some of your car trips with a smaller, more efficient vehicle, like a personal electric vehicle. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you here next time.